They say the scoreboard never lies. But last night at the Spotify Camp Nou, the aggregate scoreline told only a fraction of the story. 45,398 fans witnessed a team that refused to die, a team that pushed one of the most resilient defensive blocks in European history to its absolute breaking point. It was a night of pure, unadulterated passion, tactical madness, breathtaking football. Looking at the heart this team showed, I have to say it. I'm so proud that I am a Barça fan. Even though Barcelona fell just one goal short of the ultimate comeback, completing a dominating performance on the night but losing on aggregate, this Copa del Rey semi-final second leg was unequivocally the best football match of the season. Diego Simeone deployed absolute defensive chaos, a pure, desperate block. But Hansi Flick's Barcelona proved a terrifying reality to the rest of the world. You cannot just sit back and let Barça have the ball. It does not matter how defensively strong you are. If this Barcelona side holds the ball, they are going to smash your defense into the ground. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Barcelona dismantled Atletico Madrid. You'll see the tactical masterclass that left the pitch with absolute honor and zero regrets. And you'll discover why this defeat might actually be the moment that defines Barcelona's entire season. But first, subscribe to Cyberboot right now, because we're about to break down the most glorious defeat in modern football. Let's expose the truth behind Barcelona's performance. Here is the complete, detailed breakdown of how Barcelona dismantled Atletico Madrid and left the pitch with absolute honor and zero regrets. This wasn't just a football match, this was a statement. Barcelona came into the second leg with a significant aggregate deficit. Atletico Madrid, one of the most defensively organized teams in Europe, had done what they do best in the first leg: sit deep, absorb pressure, hit on the counter, protect the lead. And coming to Camp Nou, everyone expected more of the same: park the bus, waste time, frustrate Barcelona, advance to the final. But what actually happened was something nobody could have predicted, because Barcelona didn't just attack. They obliterated Atletico's defensive structure. They dominated possession. They created chance after chance. They pushed Simeone's team to the absolute brink. And even though the aggregate scoreline didn't reflect it, this was a performance that will be remembered for years. Today, we're going to break down every tactical detail. The statistical masterclass that proves Barcelona's dominance. The timeline of relentless pressure that pushed Atletico to the edge. The individual brilliance that shone through, and the tactical masterstroke that nearly completed the impossible comeback. This is the story of Barcelona's glorious defeat. Let's start with the numbers, because the sheer dominance of Barcelona last night is difficult to overstate. Atletico Madrid, a team built on defensive solidity, was completely suffocated in their own half. The gap in quality, intent, and execution was glaring. Barcelona dictated the flow of the match with a staggering 68% possession compared to Atletico's mere 32%. That's more than 2/3 of the ball. For a team chasing an aggregate deficit, that's exactly what you need. But possession alone doesn't win matches. You need to convert that control into chances, and Barcelona did exactly that. Barcelona fired off 21 total shots, 9 on target. Atletico? Just 7 shots, only 2 on target. Expected goals tells the same story. Barcelona generated 3.09 xG alongside 5 big chances. Atletico managed 0.68 xG and a single big chance. This wasn't a competitive match, this was a siege. The Catalans orchestrated 642 passes at an 89% accuracy rate. Atletico struggled to build anything, managing only 308 passes at a 74% completion rate. Barcelona weren't just passing for the sake of it, they were probing, moving the defense, creating gaps. And Atletico had no answer, the most telling statistics. Corners, 15-0. Touches in the opposition box, 44-9. Barcelona camped outside Juan Muso's penalty area for the entire match, relentlessly probing, crossing, shooting. Atletico's defense was reduced to pure survival mode, relying heavily on 18 one tackles and 14 interceptions, just to stay afloat. This wasn't football. This was attack versus defense in its purest form. And Barcelona proved that if you give them the ball, they will destroy you. Now, let me ask you, is this Barcelona performance already better than anything we saw under Xavi, or do they need silverware to prove it? Drop your answer in the comments, because this debate is just getting started. Now let's break down exactly how this match unfolded, because Hansi Flick's game plan was clear from the opening whistle: overwhelm, overrun, outplay. Just 71 seconds into the match, Fermín López cracked a shot that smashed off the crossbar. 71 seconds. That set the tempo immediately. Camp Nou was a cauldron. And Atletico knew they were in for a long night. This wasn't going to be a cagey tactical battle. This was going to be relentless pressure from the first whistle. 13 minutes, early adversity. Jules Koundé went down injured, forcing an early substitution. Alejandro Balde entered the pitch, taking over the left-back spot. João Cancelo seamlessly shifted from left-back to cover for Koundé. This could have disrupted Barcelona's rhythm. An early injury, a tactical reshuffle, but it didn't. Because Flick's system is built on flexibility. Players understand multiple positions. They can adapt mid-match. And Barcelona didn't miss a beat. 29 minutes. The breakthrough. The pressure paid off. Lamine Yamal, who was a nightmare on the flanks all night, drilled a precise low cross into the box. Marc Bernal was perfectly positioned to slot it home from close range. Camp Nou erupted. The aggregate deficit was shrinking. The comeback was on. Deep in first-half stoppage time, Marc Pabil desperately fouled Pedri inside the box. Penalty. Raphinha stepped up with ice in his veins and converted. Barcelona went to the dressing room completely galvanized. 2 goals, total dominance. Atletico hanging on by a thread. The comeback was genuinely possible. The second half was where this match became legendary, because Simeone panicked, Flick adapted, and tactical chaos ensued. 58 minutes. Simeone panics. Feeling the tie slipping, Simeone made a double substitution. Koke came off for Nahuel Molina, pushing Marcos Llorente from RB into midfield. Ademola Lookman was sacrificed for the physical presence of Alexander Sørloth up top. This was pure defensive reinforcement. More bodies behind the ball, more physicality. 64 minutes. Flick reloads. Barcelona responded with fresh attacking legs. Marcus Rashford replaced Ferran Torres to inject direct pace. Dani Olmo came on for Fermin Lopez to pick the lock in the final third. Fresh legs, fresh ideas, relentless pressure. 69 minutes. Atletico dig, deeper. Julian Alvarez was pulled off for Alex Baena as Simeone looked to disrupt the midfield and waste time. Every substitution from Atletico was defensive. Every change was about survival. They weren't trying to win anymore. They were trying not to lose. And then came the moment that defines Hansi Flick's genius. Alejandro Balde went down injured. Barcelona were down to 10 fit outfield players. The logical move? Bring on another defender, steady the ship, protect what you have. But Flick threw the tactical playbook out the window. He brought on Ronald Araujo, but not to defend. Araujo was pushed directly up top to play as a target man, as a striker, to provide a physical aerial presence in the box. This left Pau Cubarsí completely alone at the back as the lone center back, while the rest of the team bombarded the Atletico box with crosses. This is insane. This is reckless. This is beautiful. 72 minutes, absolute bedlam. The tactical shift worked instantly. João Cancelo whipped in a dangerous cross. Marc Bernal stabbed home his second goal of the night. Barcelona were within a single goal of leveling the aggregate score. Camp Nou was shaking. Atletico were on the ropes. One more goal. Just one more. 76 minutes. Shutting up shop. A terrified Simeone pulled winger Giuliano Simeone for center-back Jose Maria Jimenez, putting 11 men firmly behind the ball. This wasn't football anymore. This was pure survival. As the clock ticked down, Lamine Yamal picked up a yellow for a frustrated foul. Baena was booked for blatant time wasting. The tension was unbearable. The final whistle blew. Barcelona had won the match convincingly, but lost on aggregate. The comeback fell just short. This wasn't a failure. This was a statement. Because Barcelona proved something that will terrify every team left in Europe. You cannot sit back against this Barcelona. No matter how good your defense is, no matter how organized you are, if you let Barcelona have the ball, they will break you. Atletico Madrid, one of the best defensive teams in European football, were reduced to desperate survival mode, and they barely held on. Imagine what Barcelona will do to teams that actually try to play football. Now, let's talk about the individuals who made this performance possible, because the tactical setup allowed individual quality to shine through on a historic level, but it also exposed Barcelona's biggest flaw, the midfield maestro, Pedri. This was only his second game back from injury, and he dropped an absolute masterclass. The defining moment of his night wasn't just drawing the penalty, it was his sheer will. When Balde went off injured, Hansi Flick asked Pedri if he wanted to come off due to exhaustion. Pedri refused. He demanded to stay on the pitch. His ability to dictate the tempo and control the midfield under immense physical pressure proved exactly why he is the best midfielder in the world right now. The breakout star, Marc Bernal, 2 goals, 5 shots. A staggering 92% pass accuracy. He was the engine and the executioner in the final third. This performance announced him as a genuine star. The unstoppable winger, Lamine Yamal 1 assist, 4 key passes. An unbelievable 14 successful dribbles. He completely terrorized the Atletico flanks. Every time he got the ball, something dangerous happened. The relentless worker, raphinha, 1 goal, 6 shots, 5 completed crosses. He never stopped running and pressing. This is the complete winger, work rate, quality, and product. The Atletico savior, Juan Musso. If not for Musso, Barcelona would have won this tie comfortably. He made 6 crucial saves, preventing an additional 2.1 goals based on XG on target. He was the sole reason Simeone's defensive block survived. As incredible as the team was, Barcelona could have completed the comeback, but the main reason for not scoring enough was the lack of a pure number 9. Lewandowski was injured, and Varane was invisible. He had a very quiet game overall, registering only 22 touches before being substituted off. Officially, he recorded 1 big chance missed. He took 3 total shots. His lack of presence in the box was the only thing holding Barcelona back. Now let me ask you, should Barcelona prioritize signing a world-class striker this summer, or trust Lewandowski and develop from within? Comment below. I genuinely want to hear your transfer strategy. So here's the final verdict. No regrets. Losing a semi-final always hurts, but the context of this exit changes everything. Barcelona proved that their identity is alive and lethal. They took a massive first-leg deficit against one of Europe's most stubborn defenses, pinned them inside their own penalty box for 90 minutes, and battered them into submission. They left everything on the pitch. There are absolutely no regrets because they lost with honor, playing breathtaking front-foot football. Is this the best Barcelona performance you've seen under Hansi Flick? Or have there been even better displays? And here's the bigger question. Can this Barcelona actually win the Champions League playing this way? Or will they get punished for being too attack-minded? Drop your tactical analysis in the comments right now. Let's debate this properly. If this breakdown changed how you see Barcelona's defeat, subscribe to Cyberboot immediately and turn on notifications. Hit that like button if you're proud to be a Barcelona fan after this performance. Visca el Barça!